You are standing on a street corner in a city you do not know. You need to find the post office, but your phone battery is dead. What do you do? In English? Today, you will follow a story about a young woman named Clara. Clara arrives in a new neighborhood and needs to find her way. You will learn 6 important English words: intersection, landmark, shortcut, distance, block, and roundabout. Clara is 26 years old. She has just moved to a new city called Milford. She does not know anyone there yet. On her first morning, Clara wakes up early. She needs to send an important letter. She has to find the post office before 9 o'clock. She looks at her phone. The battery is at 1%. Then the screen goes black. She sighs. She has no map and no internet. Clara puts the letter in her bag. She takes a deep breath. She opens the front door and steps outside. The street is quiet and pleasant. There are small shops on both sides. She can smell fresh bread from a bakery nearby. Clara walks slowly. She looks left and right. She does not know which direction the post office is. She sees an older man. He is sitting on a bench outside the bakery. He is reading a newspaper. Clara walks toward him. She speaks politely. She says, "Excuse me, I am sorry to bother you. Could you help me? I am looking for the post office." The man looks up from his newspaper. He smiles warmly. He says, "Of course, the post office is not far from here." Clara feels relieved. She takes a small notebook and a pen from her bag. She is ready to write the directions. The man begins to explain. He says, "Walk straight along this street. After about 2 minutes, you will reach an intersection." Clara writes down the word intersection. An intersection is a place where 2 or more roads cross each other. It is like a plus sign on the road. The man continues. He says, "At the intersection, you will see a big red building on the corner. That red building is your landmark." Clara writes, landmark. A landmark is a well-known object or building that helps you know where you are. It is something easy to see and remember. If this story is helping you learn English, tap the like button now. It helps other learners find it too. The man continues speaking. He says, "Turn left at the red building, then walk along Oak Street for 3 blocks." Clara writes down, block. In a city, a block is the distance along a street from one intersection to the next. 3 blocks means you pass 3 sets of cross streets. Clara nods. She repeats back to the man. She says, "So I turn left at the red building and then walk 3 blocks along Oak Street." The man nods. He says, "That is right. After those 3 blocks, you will come to a roundabout." Clara writes, roundabout. A roundabout is a circular junction where traffic moves around a central island. Cars drive around it instead of stopping at traffic lights. The man says, "At the roundabout, take the second exit." That means you go around the circle and leave at the second road you see. Clara thinks for a moment. She asks, "Is that road far from here? I am worried about the distance." The man smiles again. He says, "The total distance is about 10 minutes on foot. It is not far at all." Distance means the amount of space between 2 places. We can measure distance in meters, kilometers, or even in minutes of walking. The man adds one more thing. He says, "There is also a shortcut if you want. It is a little faster." Clara writes, shortcut. A shortcut is a quicker or shorter way to get to a place. People use shortcuts to save time. The man explains the shortcut. He says, "Instead of going to the roundabout, turn into the small lane just before it. Walk through the lane, and you come out right in front of the post office." Clara looks at her notebook. She reads the directions again. She wants to be sure she understands. She says, "So, walk straight to the intersection. Use the red building as my landmark. Turn left and walk 3 blocks. Then either go to the roundabout or take the shortcut through the lane." The man claps his hands once. He says, "Perfect. You understand completely. It is very nice to meet you. Good luck, young lady." Clara thanks him warmly. She puts her notebook in her bag and starts walking. She walks straight as the man said. After about 2 minutes, she sees the intersection ahead. 2 roads cross in front of her. And there, on the corner, the big red building. It is easy to see. It is a perfect landmark. Clara smiles. She turns left at the red building. She walks along Oak Street. She counts the blocks quietly. 1, 2, 3. After the 3rd block, she sees the roundabout. She can see the circular road with a small garden in the middle. Then she sees it, a small lane just before the roundabout. It is narrow but well lit and clean. She decides to take the shortcut. She walks into the lane. It is quiet and pleasant. After just 30 seconds, she sees a wider street ahead. She steps out of the lane, and right in front of her, she sees a building with a blue and yellow sign. It says, "Post Office." Clara laughs quietly. She made it. And it is only 8:45. She has 15 minutes to spare. Inside the post office, Clara sends her letter. The clerk is friendly. Clara feels happy and confident. She explored a new neighborhood all on her own. On her way home, Clara walks slowly. She looks at the streets around her. They do not seem so unfamiliar now. She passes the roundabout. She passes the 3 blocks on Oak Street. She sees the red landmark building. She smiles again. When she gets back to her building, she sees her neighbor. The neighbor is a young man named Tom. He looks confused. Tom says, "Excuse me, do you know this area? I am looking for the pharmacy, but I am completely lost." Clara opens her bag. She takes out her notebook. She says, "I can help you. I will explain the way. It is easy once you know the landmarks." Tom looks surprised and grateful. Clara smiles. This morning, she was the lost one. Now she is giving the directions. She explains the route clearly. She uses the same words: intersection, landmark, block, roundabout, distance, and shortcut. Tom listens carefully and writes it all down. Tom thanks Clara. He walks away, notebook in hand, looking confident. Clara watches him go. She feels proud. Now let us review today's 6 key vocabulary words together. Say each one after you hear it. Intersection. An intersection is a place where 2 or more roads cross each other. Clara reached the intersection after 2 minutes of walking. Landmark. A landmark is a well-known object or building that helps you know where you are. The red building was Clara's landmark. Block. A block is the distance along a street from one intersection to the next. Clara walked 3 blocks along Oak Street. Roundabout. A roundabout is a circular junction where traffic moves around a central island. Clara saw the roundabout at the end of Oak Street. Distance. Distance is the amount of space between 2 places. The total distance from Clara's home to the post office was about 10 minutes on foot. Shortcut. A shortcut is a quicker or shorter way to get somewhere. Clara used the shortcut through the lane and arrived early. Well done for staying with Clara all the way to the post office and back. You have learned 6 real, useful English words today. You can use them right now in any English conversation about directions. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell so you get a new English lesson every day. Leave a comment below using one of today's words. And share this video with a friend who is learning English. The travel company just told you your holiday is canceled. You paid over $2,000, and now they are offering you almost nothing back. What do you say? In English? Today, you will follow a woman named Clara as she fights to get her money back. You will learn 6 powerful words that will help you in real situations like this. Clara had saved for 1 year to take a holiday. She booked a package to a warm island in the south. The package included flights, a hotel, and day trips. She paid $2,200. She was very excited. She told all her friends and family about the trip, but 3 weeks before her holiday, she got an email. The subject line said, "Important notice about your booking." Her heart sank. The email said the travel company was canceling her package. They said there was a problem with the hotel. They were sorry for the trouble. At the bottom of the email, there was a small offer. The company offered her a travel credit of $400. A travel credit means store credit. Money you can only use with that company, not real cash back. Clara stared at the screen. $400? She had paid $2,200. This did not feel right at all. She took a deep breath. She decided she would not just accept this. She would contact the company and ask for a full refund. A refund means money that is given back to you after you have paid for something. For example, if you buy a jacket and it is broken, the shop gives you a refund. In Clara's case, she wanted all her $2,200 back in her bank account. Before she called the company, Clara did one smart thing. She looked for all her documents. She found her booking confirmation email. She also found her receipt. A receipt is an official record that shows you paid money for something. It shows the date, the amount, and what you bought. Always keep your receipts. They are your proof of payment. Clara printed her receipt and her booking confirmation. She put them beside her. She was ready. She picked up her phone and called the customer service number. After a few minutes of waiting music, a man answered. "Thank you for calling Sunshine Travel. My name is Tom. How can I help you today?" Clara spoke clearly and calmly. "Hello, Tom. My name is Clara Bell. I have a booking reference number. It is ST4471. My holiday package was canceled by your company 3 days ago." Tom looked up her booking. "Yes, I can see that, Ms. Bell. I am very sorry about the cancellation. I can see that we sent you an offer of a travel credit." Clara stayed calm. "I understand, Tom, but I would like to ask about your cancellation policy." A cancellation policy is the set of rules a company uses when a booking is canceled. It tells you what happens to your money if the trip does not happen. Every travel company must have a cancellation policy. Clara had read the company's policy on their website before she called. "Our cancellation policy," said Tom, "says that if we cancel a booking, we offer a travel credit for future use." Clara replied, "Yes, I read that section, but I also read the next part." Clara looked at her notes. "Your policy also says that if the cancellation is caused by the company, not the customer is entitled to a full cash refund on request." The word entitled means that you have the right to receive something. If you are entitled to a refund, that means the rules say you should get it. No one is giving you a favor. It is your right. Tom was quiet for a moment. "Could you hold the line for one moment, Ms. Bell?" Clara said. "Of course." She waited. She felt nervous, but she also felt strong. If this story is helping you learn English, tap like. It helps other learners find it. Tom came back. Ms. Bell, I have spoken to my manager. We can see that our company canceled your booking. Under our policy, you do have a right to request a cash refund. Clara felt a wave of relief. But then Tom continued. However, the full refund amount will take 90 days to process, and we can only refund $2,000, not the full amount. Clara frowned. She had paid $2,200. There was still $200 missing, and 90 days was a very long time to wait. She asked calmly, Tom, can you explain why the refund is $2,000 and not $2,200? I have my receipt here showing the full amount I paid. Tom checked again. It seems there is a small processing fee being deducted. This is in our terms and conditions. Clara replied, I see, but I did not cancel the booking. You did. I believe that fee should not apply in this case. She continued, I would also like to ask about compensation for the inconvenience. I had already paid for travel insurance, and I booked time off work for this holiday. Compensation means extra payment or something given to you because something went wrong. It is different from a refund. A refund gives back what you paid. Compensation is extra for the trouble caused. For example, if a restaurant gives you the wrong meal and makes you wait an extra hour, they might offer compensation, maybe a free dessert or a discount. It is a way of saying sorry with action. Tom put her on hold again, this time for 5 minutes. Clara waited patiently. She had her notes ready and her receipt beside her. She felt prepared. When Tom returned, his voice sounded different, more careful. Ms. Bell, I have escalated your case to our senior team. They have agreed to remove the processing fee. You will receive the full $2,200. Clara said, Thank you. I really appreciate that. And what about the timeline? 90 days is quite long. Is there any way to process it faster? She was polite but direct. Tom said, I understand. We can reduce the timeline to 30 days for cases where the company is responsible for the cancellation. I will mark your case as a priority. Clara thanked him. Then she added, I would also like to ask about compensation. I paid for travel insurance specifically for this trip, and I took 5 days of annual leave from my job. Tom listened. I understand. The standard compensation we offer in these cases is a voucher for $150. This can be used on your next booking with us. Clara thought for a second. The voucher was not perfect, but combined with the full refund, it was a fair result. She decided to accept, but she asked one more question. Can you send me all of this in writing? I would like a confirmation email showing the full refund amount, the timeline, and the compensation voucher. Tom agreed right away. Always ask for written confirmation. This protects you if there is ever a dispute. A dispute is an argument or disagreement about something, usually about money, rights, or agreements. For example, if a company later says they never agreed to something, you can show your written proof. A confirmation email is very powerful in a dispute. 20 minutes after the call, Clara received a full confirmation email. It showed the refund of $2,200. It showed a 30-day timeline, and it showed the $150 voucher. Clara sat back in her chair. She smiled. She had been calm. She had been prepared. She had used the right words at the right moments, and she got what she deserved. 28 days later, the full refund arrived in her bank account. She used the voucher the following year when she finally went on that island holiday. And it was wonderful. Now let us review the 6 key words you learned today. This is your vocabulary moment. Listen carefully. Number 1. Refund. A refund is money given back to you after you have paid for something that did not work out. Clara asked for a full refund of $2,200. Number 2. Receipt. A receipt is an official record that shows you paid for something. It shows the amount, the date, and what you bought. Clara used her receipt as proof. Number 3. Cancellation policy. This is the set of rules a company follows when a booking is canceled. Clara read the cancellation policy carefully before she called. Number 4. Entitled. If you are entitled to something, you have the right to receive it. The rules say you should get it. Clara was entitled to a full cash refund because the company canceled. Number 5. Compensation. Compensation is extra money or something given to you because something went wrong. It is in addition to your refund. Clara received a $150 voucher as compensation. Number 6. Dispute. A dispute is an argument or disagreement, usually about money, rights, or agreements. Always get written confirmation to protect yourself in case of a dispute. Those 6 words, refund, receipt, cancellation policy, entitled, compensation, dispute, are words you can use in real life. At a shop, with a service company, or when you travel. You now know how to stay calm, use clear English, and get what you deserve, just like Clara. Well done for watching all the way to the end. That shows real commitment to learning. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a daily English story. Leave a comment below with one sentence using any of today's words. We love reading them. And share this with a friend who is learning English. See you in the next story. Your new colleague walks into the office looking tired and lost. She has just moved to the city and she does not know anyone. What do you say in English to help her feel at home? Today, you will learn real English through a warm story about helping a colleague settle into a new city. You will also learn 6 important words: neighborhood, commute, affordable, amenities, local council, and settle in. Our story begins on a Monday morning. The office is quiet. Most people are still making coffee. A young woman named Clara walks through the door. She is carrying a large bag. She looks around slowly, not sure where to go. Her colleague, Tom, is at his desk. He sees Clara and smiles. He stands up and walks over to her. "Hi, you must be Clara. I am Tom. Welcome to the team." Clara smiles back, but she looks a little nervous. "Thank you," Clara says. "I just moved here last week. I do not know the city at all. It is a little overwhelming." The word overwhelming means that something is too big or too much to manage easily. Tom nods kindly. "I remember that feeling. I moved here 5 years ago. I can help you. Do you have a place to live yet?" "Yes," Clara says. "I am renting a small apartment. But I chose the neighborhood quickly, and now I am not sure it is the right one for me." A neighborhood is an area of a city where people live. It has houses, streets, and often shops and parks nearby. Every city has many different neighborhoods, and each one has its own character. "Which neighborhood are you in?" Tom asks. "I am in Westfield," Clara says. Tom thinks for a moment. "Westfield is okay," Tom says slowly. "But it is quite far from the office. How is the commute?" A commute is the journey you make from your home to your workplace, usually every day. Clara sighs. "It is long. I take 2 buses and it takes almost 1 hour each way. I arrive at work already tired." Tom shakes his head gently. "That is hard." A long commute every day is exhausting, but do not worry. There are some better options. If this story is helping you learn English, tap like. It helps other learners find it. Tom opens his laptop. Let me show you some neighborhoods that are closer to the office, he says. Clara pulls her chair next to his desk. This is Greendale, Tom says, pointing at the screen. It is about 20 minutes from the office by subway, and the rents are affordable. Affordable means that the price is not too high. You can pay for it without financial stress. For someone starting a new job in a new city, finding an affordable place to live is very important. Affordable sounds good, Clara says with interest. But what is the area like? Is it a nice place to live? Yes, I like Greendale a lot, Tom says. It has good amenities. There's a supermarket, a gym, a library, a park, and several cafes. Amenities are the useful services and facilities in an area. Things like shops, parks, sports centers, and public transport are all amenities. Good amenities make daily life much easier. Clara's eyes light up. A library? I love libraries. And a park would be wonderful. I like to go for a walk in the morning before work. Then Greendale is perfect for you, Tom says. The commute is short, the rents are affordable, and the amenities are excellent. I live there too, actually. Clara laughs. You do? That is very helpful. But I also want to ask, is the neighborhood safe? That is important to me. It is a safe area, Tom says. And if you ever have concerns about safety or local services, you can contact the local council. The local council is the official government organization that manages services in a specific town or city area. The local council is responsible for things like rubbish collection, road repairs, parks, and public safety. I did not know that, Clara says. In my old city, I never thought about the local council, but it is good to know how things work here. When I first moved here, Tom says, I had a problem with my rubbish not being collected. I contacted the local council online and they fixed it in 3 days. Clara nods. That is good to hear. So the local council is actually useful. Tom smiles. Yes. Do not be afraid to contact them if you need help. At lunchtime, Tom and Clara go to a cafe near the office. They sit by the window. Tom continues to give her advice. So, what else do I need to know? Clara asks, wrapping her hands around her cup of tea. Tell me everything, Tom thinks. First, get a local transport card. It makes the commute much cheaper. You can buy one at any subway station. Second, try the Saturday market on Baker Street. It has fresh vegetables, local bread, and handmade goods. Everything is affordable and very good quality. Clara's eyes widen. Oh, I love markets. I used to go every weekend back home. Her voice becomes a little quiet. She is thinking about her old city. Tom notices. Do you miss your home city? He asks gently. Clara nods. Yes, it is strange. I wanted this job very much, but moving is harder than I thought. That is completely normal, Tom says. It takes time to settle in, but I promise, after a few months, this city will start to feel like home. To settle in means to become comfortable and relaxed in a new place or situation. When you settle in, you stop feeling like a stranger. You start to know the streets, the people, and the routines around you. How long did it take you to settle in? Clara asks Tom. Tom thinks. For me, about 3 months. After that, I felt like I belonged here. Clara smiles. 3 months. Okay, I can do that. Tom raises his cup. To settling in, he says. Clara raises her cup too. To settling in. The following Saturday, Clara walks to the market on Baker Street. The street is busy. There are colorful stalls selling fruit, bread, cheese, and flowers. She buys a loaf of bread and some apples. The prices are affordable, just as Tom said. She feels a small feeling of happiness. She walks through the neighborhood slowly. She looks at the cafes, the little bookshop, and the park at the end of the road. The park has tall trees and a fountain. She sits on a bench in the park. She watches children playing. An older man walks his dog nearby. She breathes in slowly. It is peaceful. She thinks, maybe this neighborhood is not so bad after all. She takes out her phone and sends Tom a message. She writes, "You were right about the market, and the park is beautiful. I think I am starting to settle in." Tom replies with a smiling face and the words, "I told you so." Over the next few weeks, things get easier for Clara. She finds a shorter bus route for her commute. It takes only 30 minutes now. She also contacts the local council to ask about the recycling schedule in her building. They send her all the information she needs by email. She is impressed. She joins a morning yoga class in the park. The class is free and organized by the local council. She meets new people there. One morning, Tom sees Clara at the coffee machine in the office. She looks different. She looks rested and happy. Her eyes are brighter. "Good morning," she says brightly. "How are you?" Tom smiles. "You look well. I think you are settling in." Clara laughs. "I am. The neighborhood is great. The commute is short now. The amenities are excellent. And I actually contacted the local council last week, and they were very helpful." "And the rent?" Tom asks with a smile. "Still affordable?" Clara nods. "Very affordable. Much cheaper than my old city and much closer to work." Tom looks pleased. "You did it. You settled in." Clara smiles warmly. "I did. And honestly, Tom, thank you. You made a real difference." Tom shakes his head. "You did the hard work. I just helped you find your way. That is what colleagues are for." And from that day forward, Clara did not feel like a stranger anymore. She felt like she belonged. She had a neighborhood she loved, a commute she could manage, and a friend at work. Now let us review the 6 key words from today's story. Neighborhood. This is an area of a city where people live. It has streets, houses, and local shops or parks. Commute. This is the journey from your home to your workplace. A long commute can be tiring. A short commute saves time and energy. Affordable. This means not too expensive. You can pay for it comfortably. Amenities. These are the useful services and facilities in an area. Parks, shops, gyms, libraries, and good transport are all amenities. Local council. This is the official government organization that manages services in a local area. And settle in. This means to become comfortable and relaxed in a new place. When you settle in, you stop feeling like a stranger and start to feel at home. Well done for learning with us today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe, and tap the bell for daily English lessons. Leave a comment below using one of today's words. For example, tell us about your neighborhood or your commute, and share this with a friend who is learning English. See you in the next story. Your throat hurts. Your head is heavy. You feel terrible. And you need to explain all of this to a doctor in English. Can you do it? Today, you will follow a woman named Clara through a visit to the doctor. You will learn 6 important English words: appointment, symptom, prescription, recover, pharmacy, and rest. Let's begin. Clara is 34 years old. She lives in a small, quiet city. She works as a teacher at a primary school. One Monday morning, Clara wakes up and feels very bad. Her throat is sore. Her body aches. She has a high temperature. She tries to get up, but her legs feel weak. She sits down on the edge of her bed. She knows she cannot go to work today. Clara decides to call the doctor. She needs to make an appointment. An appointment is a planned time to meet someone. In this case, a meeting with her doctor at the clinic. She picks up her phone and dials the clinic. A friendly receptionist answers. "Good morning, City Health Clinic. How can I help you?" Clara speaks slowly and clearly. "Hello. I would like to make an appointment to see a doctor today, please. I'm not feeling well." The receptionist checks the schedule. "We have an opening at 10:30 this morning. Does that work for you?" Clara says yes. Her appointment is at 10:30. Clara has about 2 hours before her appointment. She drinks a glass of water. She tries to eat a small piece of toast, but she is not hungry. She gets dressed slowly. She puts on a warm jacket. Outside, the sky is gray and the air is cold. Clara walks to the clinic. It is only 10 minutes from her home. The streets are quiet in the morning. She arrives at the clinic at 10:20. She goes to the reception desk. She gives her name. The receptionist smiles and asks her to take a seat. Clara sits in the waiting room. There are a few other patients waiting. Everyone is quiet. Clara looks at the clock on the wall. At 10:30 exactly, a nurse opens a door and calls her name. "Clara, the doctor will see you now." Clara stands up and follows her. The nurse takes Clara's temperature. She also checks her blood pressure. She writes the numbers on a small form. Then the doctor comes in. His name is Dr. Osei. He is a calm, kind man with a warm voice. "Good morning, Clara. How are you feeling today?" Clara takes a breath and begins to explain. "I'm not feeling well at all, doctor. I have a sore throat and a headache. I also feel very tired." If this story is helping you learn English, tap like. It helps other learners find it. The doctor listens carefully. He writes down everything Clara says. In medicine, the things a patient feels or notices, like a sore throat or a headache, are called symptoms. A symptom is a sign that something may be wrong with your body. Clara's symptoms are a sore throat, a headache, tiredness, and a high temperature. Dr. Osei nods slowly. These are common symptoms. Let me take a closer look. He asks Clara to open her mouth. He uses a small light to look at her throat. He also listens to her chest with a stethoscope. He gently presses on her neck. He checks her eyes and ears. After the examination, Dr. Osei sits down. He has a calm expression on his face. "Clara, I think you have a throat infection. It is not serious, but you need treatment." Clara feels a little worried. "Is it something serious, doctor?" Dr. Osei shakes his head gently. "No. With the right medicine and some rest, you will feel much better very soon." Dr. Osei picks up his pen. He begins to write on a special piece of paper. This paper is called a prescription. A prescription is a written note from a doctor that tells you which medicine to take. The prescription also tells you how much medicine to take and how often. Without a prescription, you cannot buy certain medicines at the shop. Dr. Osei finishes writing. He hands the prescription to Clara. "Take this antibiotic once a day for 7 days. Do not stop early, even if you feel better." Clara takes the prescription. She reads it carefully. She wants to make sure she understands. Once a day, 7 days. I understand. Thank you. The doctor then gives her some important advice. You also need to drink plenty of water, eat warm food if you can, and please get a lot of rest. Rest means to stop working and to relax, to give your body time to heal. When you are sick, rest is one of the most important things you can do. Clara nods. She feels a little better just knowing what is wrong. She thanks the doctor and says goodbye. He smiles warmly. Take care of yourself, Clara. Come back if you don't feel better after a few days. Clara leaves the examination room. She goes back to the reception desk. She pays for her visit and says thank you to the receptionist. Now Clara needs to get her medicine. She needs to go to the pharmacy. A pharmacy is a shop where you can buy medicine. The people who work there are trained to help you with your medicine. There is a pharmacy just around the corner from the clinic. Clara walks there slowly. The cold air feels sharp on her sore throat. She pushes open the door and steps inside. The pharmacy is warm and brightly lit. It smells clean. A pharmacist stands behind the counter. Clara walks up to the counter and gives the pharmacist her prescription. He looks at it carefully and then smiles. I'll get this ready for you. It will just take a few minutes. Clara waits near the window. She watches people walking past outside. A mother is pushing a pram. 2 men are talking and laughing. The pharmacist comes back with a small white bag. Inside is her antibiotic medicine. He explains how to take it. 1 tablet every morning with food or water. Take all 7 tablets. Clara thanks the pharmacist. She puts the bag in her jacket pocket. She feels ready to go home and start feeling better. She walks home slowly and carefully. She makes herself a cup of warm tea. She takes her first tablet with a glass of water. Then she goes to the sofa. She puts on a warm blanket. She closes her eyes. She rests. The next 2 days are difficult. Clara feels tired and weak, but she takes her medicine every morning. She drinks water and eats warm soup. On the 3rd day, she wakes up and notices something. Her throat feels a little better. Her headache is almost gone. She smiles for the first time in days. By the 5th day, Clara feels much stronger. She eats a full meal. She sits at her desk and reads a book. She is starting to recover. To recover means to become healthy again after an illness. It can take a few days or sometimes longer. For Clara, recovery takes about 1 week. On the 7th day, Clara takes her last tablet. She finishes all 7, just as the doctor and pharmacist told her to do. She feels almost completely well. The next Monday, Clara goes back to work. Her students are happy to see her. She stands at the front of the classroom and smiles. Later that day, a colleague asks her, "Are you feeling better, Clara?" She answers clearly and confidently, "Yes, I've fully recovered. Thank you for asking." Now let's review the 6 key words from today's story. Say each one out loud as we go through them. Number 1, appointment. An appointment is a planned time to meet someone. For example, a meeting with your doctor at the clinic. Number 2, symptom. A symptom is something a patient feels or notices that shows they may be unwell, like a sore throat or a headache. Number 3, prescription. A prescription is a written note from a doctor that tells you which medicine to take and how to take it. Number 4, recover. To recover means to become healthy again after being ill. Clara recovered after about 1 week. Number 5, pharmacy. A pharmacy is a shop where you buy medicine. The staff are trained and can answer your questions. Number 6, rest. To rest means to stop working and relax, giving your body time to heal. Rest is very important when you are sick. You did a great job today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe, and tap the bell for daily English lessons. Leave a comment below using one of today's words, and share this video with a friend who is learning English.